Hi there everybody, welcome back again. This is lesson 4, using our numeral for children to understand the basic number facts. You would remember in lesson 1, maybe if you watched it, that we did our combinations to 10. We're specifically looking only at 10 today, so just a quick reminder, if we're using the MAB down here, you could be thinking 1 and 9 is 10, and 1, 2 and 8 is 10. Just a reminder on the numeral, and we did it like this. We're just thinking about the tens actually. So 1 and 9 being 10, 2 and 8 being 10, 3 and 7 being 10, 4 and 6 being 10, 5 and 5, 6 and 4, 7 and 3, 8 and 2, 9 and 1, 10 and 0, which is also an important one. They're really important to understand the strategy that I'm just about to teach you and that I've taught kids in focus groups on the floor, because we want to move from our tens up into our teen numbers up to 20. So I can just quickly write an example of that up here. So let's look at 1 and 9 being 10, 2 and 8 being 10, 3 and 7, 4 and 6, and 5. And 5, we won't do the rest of them, it'll take too long. All right, so the strategy that I'm trying to show you at the moment using our MAB is this. Now, we understand our combinations, or the kids understand them after a lot of practice. Here we have 2 and 8, and again here, 1, 2, and 8. Now this strategy here, building to 10, to move in the numbers to understand our addition basic number facts to 20, would work like this, as just one thing that I would do with a lesson on the floor. So let's take, for example, we want to do 8 plus 7 and find out what that is. So with the numeral, we could get the kids to start with 8, and then we can add on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the kids would see that we've come to 15. Well, that's not the only use for the numeral here, because when we're talking about the building to 10 strategy, or making to 10, some people call it, the kids can then see that they've got 2 to get up to 10, and then they've got another 5 more, all right? And if I just cover this up, this means that 2 and 5, which is a combination of 7, which they would have practiced before, and something that they're in their head, they can then contemplate that as the strategy, but then they can do it in a concrete fashion first. So I'll just press those out again and just try and explain how that works. So if we wanted them to do 8 plus 7 again, so we're thinking, okay kids, what's 8 plus 7? So what are the combinations of 7 that might be able to help us to get up to 10? Well, there's 2 and 5. Okay, so if we did the 2 and then the 5, then that is 7. So the strategy is, with 8, adding on a 7 in their head, it's like, I add on 2 to get up to 10, and I've got 5 more, and I end up with my 15. Now, the beauty of the numeral is that you've got it there and you can do that in a concrete fashion, because you can tell it's quite a difficult concept to get over to the kids, and they obviously have to practice it over and over again. So obviously our answer is 15. Now you can show that this is going to work, particularly if they know their combinations to 10, 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 6 and 4 and 6, 5 and 5. So again, let's do a different one. Let's do 6 plus 9. So you can do this one of two ways. You can make 9 up to 10. So you can say to the kids, well, you can do 9 first. Think about 9 first and then add on the 6. Or you can do 6 and 9. It doesn't matter which way you go. So we'll just start with the 6. And we know that we need 4 to get up to 10. Well, you and I know that. Okay, so of this 9, we take the 4 off that to make them 10, and there's 5 left over, and we know that we're going to end up again with 15. That seems pretty complicated, but with the numeral, we can actually show them how that works in a concrete fashion. So if we're doing 6 plus 9 and we're building to 10 from 6, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they would see it's 4 up to 10, and then you've got your 5 more, and there's your combination of 9 there, 4 and 5. Okay? And this is an excellent mental strategy for kids to then start thinking mentally how they can move from their addition and subtraction facts to 10, beyond those numbers and into 20, and then being more effectively be able to do that with the more difficult numbers, right up into the, when they're doing difficult equations. So a really important strategy. So one more time just to see it, because it is a little bit confusing. This time we'll do 9 plus 7. Okay, you and I would know that this is nearly 10. We need one more. We're basically getting the 1 out of the 7, putting on there to make that 10, and then we've got 6 left over, which goes on the end of the 10, so we end up with 16. That's the strategy. So again, showing the strategy in a concrete sense, let's have a look. We're starting with 9 and we want to add on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we then can show the kids it's 1 up to 10, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more, which is what we just discussed. So a concrete way to show this quite difficult concept when you're trying to explain it to children. And obviously, we need to be able to do that over and over again until they start to adopt that as a strategy. Anyway, quite a difficult strategy, but a strategy that then can allow the kids to think mentally when they are trying to deal with numbers, both adding and subtracting. I'll show you subtraction another time as a separate lesson, all the way to 20, and then consequently further. So I hope that was helpful. Remember, if you need a numeral, if your kid needs a numeral, you can go to my site, numerule.com, and you can maybe purchase one from there. So thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.